Hi, in the last video we have discussed about graph coloring and related concept. So in this session we will be discussing about chromatic polynomial. Okay, so what is a chromatic polynomial? Okay, already you know that in a graph there are many ways to color a graph. Okay, suppose we have been given a graph and you are being given 10 colors. You can color the graph maybe using 10 colors, maybe using 9 colors, 8 colors and etc. Okay, so there can be many ways for coloring a particular graph using a given number of colors. Okay, so this value will vary according to the number of colors available. Suppose you are using 10 colors, the number of ways would be different. If you are using 9 colors, the number of ways would be different. Okay, so basically what's a chromatic polynomial is basically a polynomial which gives the value of the number of ways of coloring a given graph using the given number of colors or less. Now, for example, it will be like a function of x. For example, it will be function like f of x. Suppose my value of x is 10. This chromatic polynomial will actually give the number of ways of coloring the graph using 10 or less than 10 colors. Okay, so if I substitute f of 10, I will get the value of number of ways. So such a polynomial which gives the number of ways in which to color which ways of coloring a graph using x or less than x colors is called a chromatic polynomial. Okay, it is usually denoted by this symbol. This is usually denoted by the symbol p and lambda. Okay, where lambda is the number of colors available. Okay, so basically what's a chromatic polynomial? It actually gives the number of ways of properly coloring a graph of n vertices using lambda or fewer colors. Okay, for example, if I have 15 colors, I'll have to find the value of pn of 15. Okay, so this when you substitute the value 15 into that polynomial may be of the form maybe lambda plus lambda square plus lambda cube plus etc. It will be like this. I don't know what it is, but it will be that form of the polynomial. When I substitute the value 15, I'll get 15 plus 15 square plus 15 cube and I'll get a value. So that is the total number of ways of coloring the graph using 15 or less than 15 colors. So such a polynomial which gives this value is called a chromatic polynomial. Okay, so there are many ways to calculate chromatic polynomial. We will be doing problems to do that. So there are many ways in which you can calculate a chromatic polynomial. Okay, but I'll give you the general formula now, but for calculating a chromatic polynomial. Okay, so the general formula for calculating a chromatic polynomial is this. So that is actually Pn of lambda is equal to sigma Ci into lambda Ci. Here it is combination here. So that is what we mean by Ci. Okay, suppose we have a graph G. Okay, so suppose we have 10 colors are available with you to color it. Okay, so suppose I can color it using, maybe I could color it using one color, I don't know. Sometimes I can use it 2 colors, sometimes I can use 3 colors, maybe I can use 10 colors. So I'll be adding up all these number of ways and then that will total value will give you the value of Pn of 10. Okay, so suppose I have a graph G. I need to find the number of ways of coloring this graph G using 10 or less than 10 colors. So I look at the number of ways in which graph can be colored using 1 color, 2 color, 3 color, etc. 10 colors. So I'll totally add up everything and that will give you the value of P in 10. So that is the equation here. So you can see that here they are actually adding all the ways of coloring it using I is equal to 1 to n. Okay, so that is how the sigma notation comes there. Okay, and what is the Ci? The Ci is actually number of ways in which the graph can be colored using I colors. Okay, so that means here I will be using, if I am using 1 color it will be called a C1, if I am using 2 color it will be called C2, if I am using 10 color it will be called C10. So Ci is basically the number of ways of coloring the graph using I colors. Okay, and what is this lambda Ci? Suppose I am going to color this graph using 5 colors. Okay, so this 5 colors, the number of ways of using coloring the graph using this 5 colors is basically C5. Okay, and how can this 5 colors be chosen? Totally there are 10 colors are available, so I can choose this 5 colors using 10 C5 ways. Okay, or 10 C5 ways. Okay, so that is how this factor will come. So the total number of ways will be 10 C5 into C5 by product rule. Okay, so this is, so the derivation is not required for you. I'm just giving you a idea how this polynomial has come out like this. Okay, so basically this chromatic polynomial will give you the number of ways in which a given graph could be colored using lambda or fewer than lambda colors. Okay, so this is how the formula is coming out, and when you give the value of the lambda Ci, you know the value of lambda Ci is lambda factorial by I factorial into lambda minus I factorial, or when you cancel out these terms you will be getting this general formula. So this is the general formula of that. Okay, what is it? Ci into C1 into lambda I by 1 factorial, C1 C2 into lambda by lambda minus 1 by 2 factorial. This is just the definition of this combination here. Okay, so I hope it is clear. So in some problems we will be using the direct definition to calculate the chromatic polynomial. In some other problems we will also using the common sense application also. Okay, so what is basically chromatic polynomial? Chromatic polynomial actually gives you the number of ways in which a given graph could be colored using lambda or lambda minus 1 colors. Okay, so that's it. Okay, suppose my graph is a simple one. Suppose my graph is just a single vertex one. Okay, in how maybe it consists of this isolated vertices. Okay, and you have lambda colors. Okay, so in this case, can you tell me what is the chromatic polynomial? The chromatic polynomial is nothing but lambda. Okay, so the chromatic polynomial is actually, for this I can color using lambda colors, for this I can color using again lambda colors, for this also I can color using again lambda colors. So in total I will have using product rule, the first one could be colored using lambda colors, second one could be colored using lambda colors, third one could be colored using lambda colors, so total value will be simply lambda cube. Okay, so this is just the application of a common sense there. Okay, similar, if my graph is just consists of a single one, the chromatic polynomial will simply be lambda. Okay, because only lambda colors could be used to color it. Okay, so without using the formula itself, you can usually find the chromatic polynomial by simple application. Okay, and one more thing is there. For example, suppose my graph is like this. Okay, my graph is a triangle like this. I'm just so when I try to find the chromatic, we can also find the chromatic polynomial using other methods also. But suppose I'm using the formula to find the chromatic polynomial of this graph. The formula will be simply sigma I is equal to 1 to 3. N is the number of vertices, Ci into lambda Ci. This is the formula. Okay, so in this formula you will have C1 into lambda C1 plus C2 into lambda C2 plus C3 into lambda C3. Okay, now tell me what is the C1. C1 is the number of ways of coloring this graph using one color. Okay, now this graph has 3 vertices, so 3 vertices is a complete graph, so at least it requires 3 colors are required. So can you color this graph using exactly one color so that you will get a proper coloring? You cannot color this graph using one color to get a proper coloring. So in this case your C1 would be simply C. Okay, similarly, what will be the value of C2? Again, since this is a complete graph on n vertices or 3 vertices, you require n different colors. Okay, so you cannot color this graph using 2 colors also. So in that case, your C2 also will be 0. Okay, and what is your C3? Okay, so we will come to that now. So in C3, how will you find it out? You have now 3 vertices are there. These 3 vertices require 3 different colors. Okay, so now we have 3 vertices. In C3 you are using 3 colors. You have 3 vertices to be colored using 3 different colors. Okay, so you have n objects and you have n assignments to be given there. So what is the formula for that? That is nothing but n factorial. Okay, so you have 3 vertices to be assigned 3 colors, so that is nothing but n factorial. Okay, so you have studied this in your permutation combination module in your last semester. Okay, so 3 different objects are there, 3 different assignments have to be made. So what is the number of ways? It is nothing but n factorial number of ways. Okay, so that is there. So C3 is actually 3 factorial. So the formula would be 3 factorial into lambda C3, that is lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2 by 3 factorial. So this is the chromatic polynomial, which is lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2. Okay, so this I have done using the formulaic approach, but without using the formulaic approach itself, you can use common sense to derive the chromatic polynomial. Okay, suppose you are given lambda colors. So how many ways can you color it? Suppose I can color. I'm taking first this vertex. This vertex could be colored using lambda colors. Okay, now this vertex again cannot be colored using lambda colors because already we have assigned a color here, so they are adjacent here. So this vertex could be colored using only lambda minus 1 colors. Okay, now since you have assigned this one also, this could be colored using only a fewer fewer than that colors. That is actually you need lambda minus 2 colors. Okay, so you can't use lambda colors because one color is already been fixed here, one color is already been fixed here, so the remaining lambda minus 2 is available for you. So the total number of phases lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2. Okay, so using common sense you can do this problem easily. Okay, and similar one more thing, the Ci will be actually equal to 0 for all I less than this chromatic number, because the chromatic number of colors is the minimum colors which are required to properly color the graph. Okay, so the Ci will be, so in this case the chromatic number was 3 because this is a complete graph, so your C1 will be 0, C2 will be 0. Okay, so your formula will be further simplified. Okay, so moving forward, a graph with n vertices and using n different colors can be properly colored in n factorial ways. Okay, so don't confuse it with the chromatic polynomial. Chromatic polynomial will give you the number of ways of coloring that graph using n or less than n. okay, n or less than n colors. So here this is only one step in that you are going to color the graph using exactly n different colors. Okay, so in chromatic polynomial it is giving you n or less than n number of ways. Okay, so here you are using only exactly n different colors, so that is your Cn is so your Cn is always equal to n factorial. Okay, this is from the permutations and combinations. Okay, and moving forward, so if you look at this one, you can see that in this case k2 already have discussed, k1 I have already discussed. The chromatic polynomial will simply be lambda. In k2 it will be lambda into lambda minus 1, if you can think. So suppose I give lambda here, only one color will not be available for the coloring here, so it will be lambda minus 1. So the total number according to product will be lambda into lambda minus 1. Okay, similar here also we have discussed it, lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2. Okay, so in this one you know that already your C1 will be 0. In this one your C1 comma C2 also will be 0 because it is less than the chromatic number. Okay, so if you are using the direct formulaic approach for this graph, how will you write it down? If you are using the formulaic approach, it is basically sigma I is equal to 1 to 2 Ci lambda Ci. Okay, so that is what is your C1 is 0 and your C2 is, so it is C1 into lambda C1 plus C2 into lambda C2. Okay, so lambda C1 is 0 and what is your lambda C2? So it is actually C2, what is C2? So two colors are being used. So how many ways? That is lambda into lambda minus 1. Okay, so if two colors are being used, so how many ways? As two colors are there, not lambda is basically two colors are there and two vertices are there, so you need 2 factorial number of ways. Okay, so total value will be 2 factorial into lambda C2 is lambda into lambda minus 1 by 2 factorial. Again you will get the answer as simply lambda into lambda minus 1. Okay, so by formulaic approach also you can do this problem, but I think the commonsensical approach is much more easier in this case. For every graph it will not be possible, but some graphs this common sense approach will work. Okay, so moving forward, this is the idea. Okay, so now we will discuss the chromatic polynomial of a complete graph. It's nothing that to prove, it's a very simple thing. Suppose you want to find the chromatic polynomial of a complete graph, you can also use the formulaic approach, but I'll just use the common sense approach here. Suppose you have a complete graph like this. Okay, so this is your complete graph. This is actually your K4 here. Okay, suppose your lambda colors are available for you. How many ways can you color it? This vertex, if I start with it can be colored using lambda ways. So if it can be colored using lambda ways. In this vertex again, one color is less now, so lambda minus 1 ways. This is again lambda minus 2 ways. This is again lambda minus 3 ways. Okay, so when you multiply, so the total number of ways will be equal to lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2 into lambda minus 3 here. Okay, so that is actually the total number of ways. So in this case your n was actually 4, so that is why it became here lambda minus 4 plus 1, which is lambda minus 3 there. Okay, so this is the idea of the proof. So how will you write the proof? First you will write that the first vertex could be colored using lambda color, second one could be colored using lambda minus 1 colors, so the nth one could be colored using lambda minus n minus 1 colors. Okay, so the total number would be lambda into lambda minus 1 into etc. lambda minus n minus 1, which is lambda minus n plus 1. So that is the idea. Okay, so again it's an if condition. That's very simple, because if it is a complete graph, the progressive, so if it is a complete graph, all the vertices are adjacent. Okay, so if the first vertex is given lambda colors, the second vertex can be colored using only lambda minus 1 colors now, because they are adjacent to the first vertex and second vertex. Again the third vertex is adjacent to first one and second one, so definitely it could be colored using only lambda to minus 2 colors. So using that same logic you can prove that if and only if condition also. Okay, so let's go through this. I have already given to it here, so it's very straightforward calculation here. Okay, so you can also prove it using the formulaic approach. Okay, so it's very simple thing. You can formulaic approach also you can do. How will you do the using the formulaic approach? The formula is sigma Ci I is equal to 1 to n lambda Ci. Okay, since this is a complete graph, your Ci will be 0 for I less than n. Okay, because you require n different colors to color this one, because all the vertices are adjacent. So definitely this will reduce to simply Cn lambda Cn. Okay, what is Cn? Cn, you have n colors and n vertices, so it is actually n factorial 1. What is lambda Cn? It is lambda into lambda minus 1 etc. into lambda minus n minus 1 by n factorial. So that is all. In that way also we can prove this theorem. Okay, so that is also a good idea. Okay, so that is the chromatic polynomial of a complete graph. Okay, and moving forward, let us now discuss the chromatic polynomial of a tree. Okay, so what's a chromatic polynomial tree? Okay, so any vertex graphic tree, if and only if its chromatic polynomial is lambda into lambda minus 1 raised to n minus 1. So this is how, the next theorem. Okay, so we'll prove this theorem using the induction approach here. Okay, so suppose your tree consists of just one vertex here. Okay, so what is the chromatic number? So one vertex is there, where n is equal to 1. Okay, so in that case, what is your chromatic number is 1. So you require, suppose lambda colors are there, what will be the chromatic polynomial? It will simply be lambda. Okay, now will that satisfy this? Yes, it is, because it is lambda into lambda minus 1 raised to 1 minus 1, which is again lambda. Okay, so for n is 1, this is true. Even for n is equal to 2 also it is true. Why is it so? Because for n is equal to, you already know that the chromatic polynomial is lambda into lambda minus 1. Okay, because if lambda colors are available here, lambda minus 1 colors would be available here. So this is lambda into lambda minus 1. Okay, so in that case also it's true, because it's same as lambda into lambda minus 1 raised to 2 minus 1. Okay, now I assume that this result is true for all trees with up to k vertices, or up to k vertices. Okay, so I'm taking the strong induction form here. I'll assume that this result is true for all trees with up to k vertices. Okay, now let us consider a tree with k plus 1 vertex. Okay, now let us consider a tree T with k plus 1 vertex. Okay, so now I have a tree T which has k plus 1 vertex. Okay, you already know that every tree has at least two pendant vertices. Okay, so you know that there are, what do you mean pendant vertex? Pendant vertex is basically an n vertex has degree 1. Okay, so every tree has at least two pendant vertices. We have studied this while we have discussed trees. Okay, now consider a pendant vertex. Suppose you're considering a pendant vertex V, you just delete that pendant vertex from the tree now. Okay, so now we will be getting a new tree which is T1. Okay, so we just delete that pendant vertex V from the tree. So the tree may be like this, so it will be going like this. So if this is your V, just delete it. So you'll be getting a new graph here. Okay, without that tree. Okay, so this new graph T1 will have now how many vertices? Only k vertices, because initially there were k plus 1 vertices. So the new graph will have now k vertices. Okay, therefore the chromatic graph polynomial of this graph by induction property will be simply be lambda into lambda minus 1 raised to k minus 1. This is from induction method. Okay, now using, so this is the number of ways of coloring this T1 using lambda colors. Okay, now what's the difference between T1 and T? There is one more extra vertex coming. So T1, when you attach that vertex V there, you will be getting this T. Okay, so how you have to find the chromatic polynomial of T, or you have to find the number of ways of coloring this T now. Okay, so already the number of ways of coloring this T1 is lambda into lambda minus 1 raised to k minus 1. In how many ways can you color this V now? You know that this V is a pendant vertex, so it is adjacent to only one vertex. So if there are lambda colors, one color would be going for its adjacent vertex, and the rest remaining lambda minus 1 colors would be available for this V. So by product rule, the number of ways of coloring this T would be simply be lambda into lambda 1 raised to k minus 1, which is used to color T1, into the number of ways of coloring this V, which is nothing but lambda minus 1. So in total you will have lambda into lambda 1 minus 1 raised to k. Okay, so by induction property this is also true. It's a very simple thing. You are assuming it for k vertices. You can easily prove it for k minus k plus 1 vertex, but by using the property of existence of this pendant vertex, only because of that you could prove this. Okay, it's a very simple thing, so please go through that also. So it's very important proof. They can ask you this question for the exam also, so be careful. Okay, so that's it. Okay, now we will do some problems now. So some problems for finding chromatic polynomial. So can you find the chromatic polynomial of this tree here? So you know that's a tree. So already you know that for a tree the chromatic polynomial is lambda into lambda minus 1 raised to k minus 1, right? So lambda into lambda minus 1 raised to k n minus 1. Okay. So in this case you have how many vertices are there? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are there. So it will be simply be lambda into lambda minus 1 raised to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, right? Or you can use the commonsensical approach also. Just think, suppose I need I have lambda colors are there, so suppose I can color this vertex with lambda. Okay, so how many options are available for these two vertices? Lambda minus 1 options are there. Again lambda minus 1 options are here, lambda minus 1 options are here, lambda minus 1 options are here. So in total it will be lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus lambda minus 1. Again that way also we will get this answer. Okay, using common sense approach without using formula also you can do it. Okay, now we can try the same problem using this tree also. Okay, so suppose you have lambda colors here are available for 4 there. Okay, lambda colors are available for 4 there. So here okay, so suppose there are lambda colors available here. So for this one there will be lambda minus 1 now, not for that one. Okay, so for this one now you have one less color, so lambda minus 1 available there. Okay, now for this vertex, this is only adjacent to this one color has been used up here, so still lambda minus 1 will be available for them, and again lambda minus 1 will be available for them, again lambda. So here one color has been used up here, so it is not adjacent to any of them, so lambda minus 1 color available for him, lambda minus 1 available for him, lambda minus 1 available for him. Okay, so that way also you can prove it. Okay, and moving forward, can you think of this graph? So you can use the formulaic approach also, but I'll just give you a simple one of commonsensical approach here. So if you can identify this is a complete graph on 4 vertices, if you can, I have drawn it in a slightly different way, but if you just think here, suppose I could color this using one color. Suppose I'm going to color this one first, so I can use lambda colors here. Okay, now this vertex is actually adjacent to every other vertex, so you cannot use that color anywhere here. Okay, so now I'll color this one. I could color this using lambda minus 1 colors now. Okay, now both of these colors could not be used to color this one because they are adjacent, so only lambda minus 2 options are available here. Okay, similar here also, since this is adjusted to everyone, lambda minus 4, 3 options are available now. So it is lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2 into lambda minus 3 also. Okay, since this is a complete graph, you can use the property of complete graphs also. Okay, so that's clear. Now moving forward, let us look at this problem. It's slightly different one, and let us try to do it now. Okay, so okay, so I'll do both one commonsensical method also or others also. So suppose I'm using the chromatic polynomial case. So what's a chromatic polynomial? Its chromatic polynomial is actually sigma I is equal to 1 to 4 because 4 vertices are there, ci into lambda ci. Okay, so that is actually c1 lambda c1 plus c2 lambda c2 plus c3 lambda c3 plus again c4 lambda c4. Okay, now you can see that there is a triangle here, right? So triangle is a complete graph, so there is a triangle here, so definitely that for that triangle definitely 3 colors are required. Okay, so you cannot use one color or two color to properly color this graph because one triangle is there. Okay, so that means your c1 will be equal to 0, c2 will be equal to 0, so this quantity is 0, this quantity is 0. Okay, because you need at least 3 colors to properly color the graph. Okay, and now for C4 it's very easy to calculate. You have 4 vertices and 4 colors, so C4 will simply be 4 factorial. Alright, C4 will actually be 4 factorial, right? Okay, and moving forward, what is your C3? Now to find what is your C3, I am going to color this graph using 3 colors. I am going to color this graph using 3 colors. So how many ways are there to color now? Okay, now this I will go by step approach. Now 3 colors are definitely required to color this triangle. Okay, so how many ways can you do that? In that, so basically three colors are required to color this one. So this one could be colored in 3 ways. This one could be colored in 2 ways. Now 1 way. So basically 3 factorial ways. So basically 3 colors are 3 factorial are there. So basically that triangle could be colored in 3 factorial ways. Okay. Now we have to color this vertex also. Okay. So once this triangle is colored, how many options would this vertex have? Suppose this triangle is already colored now. Okay, now this vertex cannot be given the color given to this 2 and color given to this one 0 also because they are adjacent. So definitely once this triangle is colored, that color would apply to this color of 3 would definitely apply to 1 also. No more options are available for 1. So definitely it has to go by the color of this 3 itself. Okay, so once this color is given, this color of 1 also gets fixed. So there are no options available for 1, only one option is there, that is it should get the color of 3. So in total the number of ways would simply be 3 factorial into 1, which is nothing but 3 factorial. So C3 is nothing but 3 factorial. Okay, so the total number of ways in this case would be 3 factorial into lambda C3 plus 4 factorial into lambda C4. Okay, if you want you can simplify, so it will simply be lambda into lambda minus 1, right? Lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2 plus again lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2 into lambda minus 3, because you can cancel out this 3 factorial and 4 factorial. So total number of ways would be lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2, we can take it outside, then it will be 1 plus lambda minus 3, that is 1 lambda minus 2 the whole square. So this is the chromatic polynomial of that graph. So lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2 the whole square. Okay, so I hope it is clear. So even if the commonsensical approach also, you can work out here. Okay, so suppose this 2 is given lambda color. How first I color this 2 using 2 lambda colors, then I can color this 3 using lambda minus 1 colors. Okay, so lambda is used here, lambda minus 1 used here, so 2 colors are fixed here. So now how many options are there for 0? Only lambda minus 2 options now, because already you have lambda and lambda minus 1, then they are adjacent, so lambda minus 2 options here also. Okay, and how many options for this 1 now? It is adjacent to 2 and 0, so I can't use those colors, so lambda minus 2 options here also. So in total you have lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2 the whole square here. So that many options are available. So in that way also you can do this one. Okay, so that's easy. Moving forward, let us look at this graph. Okay, so we'll again think of the chromatic polynomial approach. So it has C vertices, so its formula would be sigma I is equal to 1 to 5 Ci lambda Ci. Okay, so that is C1 into lambda C1 plus C2 into lambda C2 plus C3 into lambda C3 plus C4 into lambda C4 plus C5 into lambda C5. Okay, now we'll simplify this one. Already there is a triangle here, so how many triangles are there? So already one triangle is lying there. Okay, so definitely you require at least 3 colors. So your C1 is 0, C2 is 0. Again, your C5 is actually 5 vertices, 5 colors, 5 factorial. So these things you can do it directly. Okay, so these two things would be simply be 0. Okay, so that is, now your formula will become C3 lambda C3 plus C4 lambda C4 plus C5 is actually 5 factorial lambda C5. Okay, so suppose I am taking this triangle. Okay, now I need to find C3. Okay, how will you find C3? C3 basically I am going to color this graph using 3 different colors. Okay, so first of all I'll color this triangle now. This triangle could be colored in 3 factorial ways. Okay, so first of all I'll triangle that color that triangle. That triangle could be colored in 3 factorial different ways. Okay, now once I color the triangle, how many options will this V5 have? How many options will this V5 have? Now V5 is adjacent to V1 and V4, so those colors could not be given. So definitely you will have to give this color of V3 to V5 itself. So once a color is given to that triangle, definitely V5 would have to carry the color of V3 itself, and V2 in a similar fashion should have to carry the color of V4 itself. So no options are available for V2 and V5, because once you have fixed a color for this triangle, both other two vertices should follow that color pattern itself. Okay, so only 3 factorial into one option for this V5 and one option for V2 available. Okay, so C3 is actually 3 factorial. Okay, now C4. How will you find this C4 now? Okay, look at this graph again now. So C3 is there, so C3 is your 3 factorial. Okay, now C4 is, again you will be using 4 colors now. Okay, so 4 colors are there. So first of all I'll go by this approach. I'll color this triangle now. Okay, this triangle could be, you need 3 colors to color the triangle, and it could be colored in 3 factorial ways. Okay, but you have 4 options to choose these 3 colors now. You have 4 options to choose these 3 colors now. So how many ways can you choose these 3 colors? You could choose these 3 colors in 4C3 ways or 4C3 ways. Okay, so in order to color the triangle, you need 3 colors. That triangle could be colored in 3 factorial ways, but you have 4 options to choose from that 3 colors. Okay, so that means in total that triangle could be colored in 4C3 into 3 factorial ways. Okay, that is your 4C. What is 4C3? It is actually 4 into 4, right? 4C1. So 4 into 3 factorial is 6. So you have 24 ways to color that triangle. Okay, so that's the. So now I hope it is clear. So now this triangle has been colored. Now I have to give color to this V2 and V5. So far we have used up 3 colors. Now what are the options for this V5? Now V5 cannot be given this color or this color. Okay, but it can be given either color of V3 or the new color. Okay, so two options are available for this V5 now, right? Because V5 already have colored this triangle. Okay, so V5 could now be given the color of this V3. Okay, so all three colors have been used now. It could either be given the color of V3 or it could be given the unused color now. So because four colors were there, only three colors were used up. So that unused color also could be used there. Okay, so two options are there available for this V5. Okay, now how many options are available for this V2 now? Okay, now for V2 already you know that this color and this color and this color cannot be used. Okay, because V5, V1 and V3 are all adjacent to this V2, so those three colors cannot be used. So the only options available is now only this color. So only one color option is available for this V2. Okay, so in totality we'll have, by product rule, for a triangle you have 24 options into 2 options for this V5 into 1 option, that is totally you will have 48 options. Okay, so when you simplify this, you have C3, I think it was C3 was 3 factorial, so 3 factorial lambda C3 plus 48 into lambda C4 plus 5 factorial into lambda C5. So you can simplify the results and then write down the final answer. So very simple thing. Okay, so you can do some problems here also. This is a bipartite graph, so try to do this problem also. Just think of some commonsensical approach here, that will be easier in this case. Suppose I am giving this color lambda color here, so lambda colors are available. Suppose I am first coloring this one here, so lambda options are available for them. Okay, so once this option is given to him, I can color this using lambda minus 1 options. Okay, now this vertex and this vertex are not adjacent, so lambda minus options could be used here also. Lambda minus 1 options could be used here also. Okay, so these are the total ways of coloring this one. So this is accounted, this is accounted, this is accounted. Okay, now look at this vertex. Now this vertex is adjacent to this one and this one. So suppose they have been given colors. Okay, suppose they have been given all red color, no issue in that, all red color. Okay, but this color, this vertex is now adjacent to this now, so red color alone cannot be given to them, so I can use any other color for them. So except one option, all other options are available for this one. So even if I given so all our options are available. Suppose I am given this blue one, this also green one, still the number of options will be reduced, but the maximum number of options available is actually lambda minus 1 options are actually available for them. Okay, so depends upon your coloring, that many options are available for this vertex are there. Maximum lambda minus 1 options are available for this vertex. So similarly this vertex also, it has lambda minus 1 options, because suppose all of them have same color, then you can take lambda minus 1 options also. So that many options are available for that vertex also. So in totality you will have lambda into lambda minus 1 raised to 5. Okay, so that is the idea. So and similarly this one also is a disconnected graph. Okay, so how many ways can you do it? So it's basically you can use product rule for this component. How many ways you can do it? It's actually lambda into lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2 into lambda again into this vertex has lambda options into lambda minus 1 options, again lambda options. By product rule, these many ways are there. Okay, so that's chromatic polynomial. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Okay, thank you.